Always enjoy seeing community gardens at work. So much joy there and so much community actually taking place in the garden setting. So thanks for opening the gates for us. Right now we're going to be talking about getting ready for fall and dealing with summer in the vegetable garden. And we're joined by a special guest, Sari Albornoz from the Sustainable Food Center. And welcome to Central Texas Gardener.
Thank you for having me.
It's a real pleasure to have you here, and congratulations to the Sustainable Food Center. You've just moved into brand new facilities and have a brand new garden. And a lot of our listeners out there are in the same boat. Brand new gardens, or people who are trying vegetable gardening for the first time. And I understand at your new garden site in East Austin, you have some particular challenges.
We do. It's very unusual. So first of all, we're very excited that we have a new space.
Right.
We've existed for a long time without having our very own garden, and so we can't wait to get started.
Right.
But we do have strange soil. The site where the garden is going to be situated used to be a brick company, and so they would stage lots of materials that they used to make the bricks, including a lot of sand. So really unusual for East Austin, we have sandy soil to deal with.
Okay, well that is unusual because, you know, most of us on the east side have clay soils. But we all have some problems to deal with, right? So what is the response to the sandy soil situation that you're working with?
So the refrain has been lots and lots and lots of compost, lots of organic material.
Right.
And we're also not going to just evenly distribute organic material throughout the entire area because that would be a ton of compost.
Oh,
so
yes.
we're going to be building up some, so kind of doing some lasagna gardening in some spaces. We'll be doing raised beds in some spaces, but we will be enriching the soil in some spaces with lots of organic material because we'll have great drainage, and once we get the microbial activity going and the kind of substance started, then I think we'll be good.
Well, I think some people in East Austin might want to borrow some of your sand to help with that drainage question.
Maybe so. Maybe we have extra.
But you use the phrase lasagna garden, and there are going to be a lot of people out there going, lasagna garden. Does that mean they're growing pasta and cheese?
Could be.
It's layering. So describe that technique for us.
Sure. So it's kind of like sheet composting. Basically, you can start out by putting cardboard down if you've got a Bermuda grass situation or other weeds situation.
Yes.
Cover with a nice thick layer, and then add the vegetable scraps, add lots of leaves, and just kind of layer that way. So you're essentially composting right there where your garden is going to be and building the soil right there.
I think that's a great technique, actually. I love sheet composting as a very practical thing to do in the garden. So I think that's a great tip for just about everybody, really. All right, so here we are. You're starting this new garden in the heat of the summer. There are a lot of other people out there suffering through the same extreme weather conditions here that we all have in Central Texas. I want to focus on some survival tips, so some basic things that can be employed in the garden at this time of year.
Sure.
You know, a lot of people are prepping the soil for the fall vegetable garden, but a lot of people are still trying to nurse along plants from the spring.
Yes.
What would you do in that situation?
So I think the most important thing is mulch. Mulch is just a savior as far as regulating the temperature of the soil, minimizing evaporation. So you can use wood chips as mulch. You can also just use leaves that you have collected. You can use pine needles if you have them. You can use straw, just basically anything that creates a nice blanket to protect the soil. And then also making sure you're watering deeply, not necessarily just a little bit every day, but just deeply and infrequently, just to make sure that you're keeping the soil moist at a regular temperature and just kind of keeping those plants happy.
Well, you know what I like to do, and whether it's a vegetable garden or ornamental garden, is exactly what you talked about with the watering. Good, deep, infrequent waterings. But you know, the gardener in me can't resist doing something when I'm out there.
Right.
So sometimes what I'll do is just kind of wash the plants off sometimes in the morning. And they take in water through the foliage, and that combination of frequent but extremely light, just washing the foliage down with the deep watering seems to work really, really well.
That makes sense, just to kind of cool them off.
Cool them off, wash them off, knock a few of the bugs off, you know. So what about shading?
Shading. So there's lots of cool techniques for shading. You can trellis, and in the summer we're growing beans. You might have kind of a shade structure created out of a trellis that has beans growing on it.
Right.
You can also do kind of cool shapes of of trellising like a teepee trellis where you have, you can just use bamboo and have it intersect at the top and have it kind of supported at the bottom, either using PVC or rebar to fortify it, and that's a cool trellis. You can even use fencing, kind of strategically. I mean, you would have already done this by this point, but strategically plant in a way that you have a fence next to it that you can trellis something up to provide a little bit of shade. And then also just shade cloth.
Right.
So you can, in our citizen gardener classes that we teach at SFC, we teach people how to create little hoop houses on their 4x4 beds with PVC. And you can just lay a little shade cloth right on top of that, kind of situate it strategically so it's blocking maybe the really strong west afternoon sun, and then give your plants a little relief that way.
Yeah, and I think that's an incredibly smart thing to do, and I think it's being really widely adopted now, that whole thing about just, and very simply, using PVC and an arch over the bed makes it very easy to drape the shade cloth overhead. So that's a really smart technique. Now, for those who are preparing for the fall vegetable garden, let's talk about the soil preparation for that. Lots of compost, I know, but let's just talk about raised beds.
Sure. So do you mean like constructing raised beds from scratch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can, if you were wanting to start a little garden in the fall from scratch and you've got a raised bed in mind, you might have weeds to start out with. So you can either dig out all those weeds or you can solarize. So that means putting plastic on top and letting the sun kind of help you cook those weeds. And then they're pretty easy to take out. Or you can take a shortcut, which is just putting cardboard, which does biodegrade, in a really thick layer with no gaps over, and then you can build your raised bed right on top of that. And you can use different materials for the bed. You can use wood. Cedar is really great because it holds up. It doesn't break down as quickly. And you can also use composite decking, which is a synthetic substance, but it holds up pretty well too.
It doesn't have the preservatives that a lot of treated woods
exactly.
have.
So avoiding treated wood is really important because that's going to leach toxins into the veggie cultivating soil, which you don't want to do. And you can also use things like limestone, which can look really attractive and provide a place to sit.
Right. I like the limestone beds. A lot of plants don't like the limestone so much, but a lot of them will do just fine with a little bit of limestone along the periphery.
It's true. We've got basic soil already.
Well, I think the raised bed is a great thing for this, especially for this person who's really beginning to garden, because I think you have a lot more success that way. You know, and also you can control the soil more. You can bring in the compost and the granite sand and all the different things that you want, and a really nice blend of materials there. Typically, what do you recommend in terms of that blend? Everybody has their favorite recipes.
Well, I mean, making sure it has good enough drainage, so you want to make sure it has a sand component to it, making sure that it's got enough organic material, so making sure there's compost in it. I think that there are some good gardening mixes that are available for vegetable gardening at at nurseries around town. So I don't have a specific favorite, but just kind of making sure there's a good balance there.
Okay, real briefly, let's talk about harvesting, because a lot of people are still harvesting. Anything that you'd like to pass along there?
About harvesting, can you be a little bit more specific?
Well, I would say in terms of utilization of the foods and preserving.
Oh, cool. Sure. So, that segues nicely into a recipe I wanted to highlight from the Happy Kitchen, which is our cooking and nutrition program. If you're harvesting a lot of cucumbers right now, you can make a nice Thai cucumber salad that is just some onions and chili paste and mint, and you can get mint from the garden and mix it all together with a cucumber, and we've got a recipe in there that goes into more detail, but that's delicious. You can also, if you've got a lot of okra, you can pickle it, you can pickle the cucumbers, so yeah.
I hope a lot of people out there will go to your website to get the recipes, learn more about the Sustainable Food Center, and also visit you in your brand new location. So thank you, Sari, so much for coming on board.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, great. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And coming up next is our friend Daphne.